Okay, so starting from applied visual design, create a graphic using CSS. By manipulating different selectors and properties, you can make interesting shapes. One of the easier one is to try in crescent moon shape. For this challenge, you need to work with box shadow property that's the shadow. Okay, so we are going to use box shadow, the one we used in the previous one, and the border radius. Okay, in order to create a round object, the border radius. Okay, so whenever we create when we have to create a circle, just provide a border radius of 50% to a rectangle and it will become a circle. You may recall from the earlier challenges that a box shadow property that takes value for offset x, offset y, blur radius, spread radius, and a color value in that order. The blur radius and the spread radius values are optional. So yep, we know that. We know how to do the box shadow. Manipulate the square element in the editor to create the moon shape. First, change the background color to transparent. Okay. Then set the border radius property to 50%. First, set the background color to transparent. Okay. We did that. Then set the border radius property to 50%. Okay. Okay. And then finally change the box shadow property to set the offset x to 25%. Okay. Offset y to 10 pixel, blur radius to 0 and spread radius to 0. 25, 10, 0, 0. Okay. And the color to blue. So the color to blue. And wow, we got a nice moon. This is because the circle is no longer visible. This moon is just the shadow which we provided with the help of box shadow. So what we did is we created a rectangle with this code. Okay, then make the color transparent. Okay, then while providing border radius 50%, we changed from the rectangle into the circle. Okay, and then we just manipulated the shadow of the circle so that it becomes a moon. Run the test. Okay, create a more complex shape using CSS and HTML. Okay, one of the most popular shapes in the world is the heart shape, and in this challenge you will create one using pure CSS. But first you need to understand before and after pseudo elements. Pseudo elements are like, remember when we were using hover, we were using one of these semicolons and one of these colons, and now we are going to use two of them, and these are called pseudocodes, before and after. These pseudo elements are used to add something before or after selected element. Makes sense? To add a rectangle to an element with the class heart. Okay, so this code means that before this heart, whatever element is containing this heart class, okay, will have this code executed before this class. I'm like this code, the highlighted code, will be executed before this class code executes. So before execute this. Okay, for the before and after pseudo elements to function properly, they must have defined content property. Okay, this property here inside the before and after pseudo element should be defined. This property is usually used to add things like a photo or text to the selected element. When the before and after pseudo elements are used to make shapes, the content property is still required, but says nothing to empty. In the above element, the element with the class heart pseudo element produces a yellow rectangle. Okay, with a height width. Now this rectangle has a round corner, 25% body position. Okay, whatever. Transform the element on the screen to a heart. In the heart after selector here, okay, change the background color to pink. Okay, change the background color to pink and the border radius to 50%. Let's see what happens. Okay. Next, target the element with the class heart, just heart, and fill in the transform property. Just heart means here, and fill the transform property to rotate it minus 45 degrees. So we have to rotate rotate rotate, and then minus 25 minus 45 degrees. Okay. Finally, the heart before selector sets its content property to an empty string here, and we got a heart. So that's the code. That's what the code did. Okay, I'm gonna explain it again how this worked. So this heart you see here, it's nothing but just two rectangles. The first rectangle here and the second rectangle this wise. Okay, so here we wrote the codes for the rectangles, nothing complex. We rotated this rectangle the right side 145 degrees, so it became this. Okay, and you saw that we changed the shape of that rectangle one side, so it became like this. And when we repeated the same code here in the before, okay, it just uh happened symmetrically on the left side also, so it looks like a heart. Learn how the CSS keyframes and animation properties work. This is cool. So keyframes, where's the problem? Let's just go to the problem. Okay, create an animation for the element with the id rect by setting the animation name to rainbow and the animation duration to 4 seconds. Declare a keyframe by setting the animation name to, okay, so first of all just sets the property. It says set the property animation name to rainbow. Okay, and animation duration to 4 seconds. Okay, declare a keyframe rule. So how to declare a keyframe rule? Simple, type at the rate and then type keyframe, put a space, type the name. Okay, works. And set background color at the beginning. Okay, so type 0, type percent, put braces, and type background color to what? Blue. Okay, so background color to blue. Let's just quickly copy this background color from here. Now we have to change the property at 50%, so type 50%, put braces, then type background color again. Now we have to change it to green, and at 100% we wanted it to be yellow. Okay, is something wrong, I guess? Okay, should have an animation duration property with a value of 4 seconds. Oh, the name of the keyframe is RAINBOW. I guess I misspelled something. Animation name, animation duration. Print again. The keyframe rule should have the animation name of rainbow. I typed rainbow. RAINBOW. Whatever, just copy this. Okay, and paste it. What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? The keyframe. Oh, okay. That was the problem. It's keyframes. I didn't put the S. Okay, so you see how it works now. On the right side, let me just do that again so you can see how it worked. Keyframes. Okay. At 0% it was blue, then at 50 seconds it turned to green. Let me increase it to 10 seconds so you can see. So initially it's blue, slowly changing to green, and then slowly changing to yellow. Okay, we just wanted it to be 4 seconds. Okay, run the test. Use CSS animation to change the hover state of a button. Okay, makes sense. You can use CSS keyframes to change the color of a button in its hover states. Here's an example of changing the width of an image on hover. Okay, yeah, so whenever we're gonna do hover, then only add these two properties, and then whenever we are hovering, these two property will be activated, so the keyframe related to the properties will be activated. Make sense? Note that the ms stands for milliseconds. Yeah, use css keyframes to change the background color of the button element so it becomes itna when you use hover over it. The keyframe rule should have only have an entry of for 100%. Okay, so here we got the code. This code we just have to put the keyframes property. Okay, we can do that. Type key frames space, and then we got our name here, background color. Okay, and then we have to set it to this color. They provided us with 4791D0 animation. Why are they providing this name? This name is not good. Okay. Hmm. Background property color is already property. They shouldn't be assigning that. That's the problem. I guess the keyframe tool should use the animation name background color. Okay, it's using that name background dash color. Makes sense. And then there should be only one rule under the keyframe that changes the background color to ignite 100%, and it should work. This is not necessary, but let's just change it to 100%, and okay, run the test. It works on the rest of the browsers, but they have different compilers here. Modify fill mode of an animation fill mode forward. So it means that what way you want to run your animation into. You want it to move forward, backward, okay, loop. Uh, so they just wanted to set the animation fill mode property of the button hover to forward so that button stays highlighted. It means if you put a forward here, okay, then whatever property is provided here, this property, the CSS will become a constant, okay, so it won't change then. So they wanted us to provide animation fill mode to be forwards. Okay, so what this means is, let me show you. If I remove, first of all, let's run the test. Okay, it's working. So it should. So what it basically does it, whenever I move my cursor over it, it changes to blue, and when I remove my cursor it should remain blue. Okay, it the whatever the new css is in your animation thing, it should remain like that even after the change is done. Create movement using css animations. You can use different margins. You can change the margins differently at different percentage. At 0% make it margin 0 at the top, and when you make a margin of 50% at the top, then it will slowly shift downward. Let me show you. Instead of talking, add a horizontal motion to the div animation using the left offset property. Add the keyframe rules. So rainbow starts at 0 pixel, 0%, 25 pixels, 50%, 25 minus 25 pixels at 100%. Don't replace the top property in the editor. The animation should have both vertical and okay. So they just want us to add properties according to what they provided. So a left, okay, and left should be 0 pixels at 0, okay, and then the left should be 25 pixels at 50%, okay, and the left should be minus 25 pixels at the 100%, and you can see the motion looks good. Do you understand it? Like there was left 0 pixels means the shift from the left side was 0, and then at the 50% completion of the animation, the shift increased to 25%. You see, the shift increased to 25%, and then again the shift decreased because of this minus left property. Create visual direction by fading an element from left to right. Okay, for this challenge you will change the opacity. Yeah, so target the element with the id ball and add the opacity property to set 0.1 at 50%, so the element fades as it moves. Okay, so we just have to set a opacity property here to 0.1%, and let's see what happens. You see, it's a fade effect. If I change it to 0.9, you will see the change. It is consistent. If I change it to 0.5, it's little fading. 0.0 will make it completely disappear and then come back. We wanted it 0.1 for this challenge, so 0.1, and go to the next one. Animate elements continuously using an infinite animation count. Okay, so we just provide this property here. Okay, and it will our animation will keep going. Okay, it won't fade after the completion. To keep the ball bouncing on the right on a continuous loop, change the animation iteration property to infinite. Let's just copy the name, it's really long, and come here. Oh, we got a 3 times, means the ball is gonna bounce 3 times. This animation is gonna run 3 times. Let's just change it to 30, and it will work 30 times. I want to do that. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if I do a infinite, it will keep going. Okay, we just wanted to do that. Run test with the next one. Wait, what happened? So working. Okay, make a css heartbeat using an infinite animation count. What was the heartbeat? Okay, keep the heart beating by adding animation iteration count property for both the back class and the heart class, and setting the value to infinite. Heart before and heart after select, do not need any. Okay, yeah, so we want this property, and we have to provide it to the back class here and set it to infinite. Okay, and in the heart class we have to do the same, set the property to infinite. Looks good. What is happening here is just the size of the heart is decreasing and then increasing again, so that's how it looks like it's beating. Okay, animate element at variable rates. Okay, there are a variety of ways to alter the animation rates of similarly animated elements. So far this have been achieved by applying animation iteration count property and setting keyframe rules to illustrate the animation on the right consists of the 2 stars each. Okay, what we have to do is to alter the animation rate of the element with the class name of star1 by changing the keyframe rules to 50%. Okay, where is it? Star1 here. Yeah. Okay, so what we have to do is to you can change the keyframe rules for one so that the star string can different. Okay, so we got two different kinds of twinkle 1 and the twinkle 2, two different keyframes. So keyframes rule to 50%. We have to change this to 50%, I guess. Yeah, so now they are twinkling at different rates. Animate multiple elements at variable rates. Okay, set the animation duration of the element with the classes star1, star2, star3 to, okay, respectively. Duration, we have to change the durations here. So this should be 1 second. Okay, this should be 0.9 second, and this one should be 1.1 seconds. I don't know what they want to do. So now all of them are twinkling at different duration. Means this twinkles less as compared to this one, and this twinkles twinkles for more time as compared to this one. Okay, It simply means that the keyframe or the animation is running longer for this one and shorter for this one. Change animation timing with keywords. Okay, yeah, that's a cool function. In CSS animations, the animation timing function property controls how quickly and okay, whatever. So let's just go to what we have to do, which is main for the elements with the ball 1 and ball 2. Add an animation timing function property to each and is set to linear and ease out. Notice the difference between how the elements move. Okay, so we just have to change the properties here. In the ball 1 here, we have to change it. We have to change the animation timing function to linear. Okay, and here we have to change it to ease out. You see how they are coming differently. Linear keeps the speed consistent, where ease out is according to its name, it comes with the speed, and before coming to rest it slows down. We got more of them. We got ease also, which is almost similar to linear. We got ease in. You see, ease in starts slowly and then moves fast at the end. You see the difference, ease in, ease out. Okay, and simple ease, which is almost equal to normal linear. So we wanted to do ease out. So ease out in the test. Ball 1 should be linear. It's, oh, sorry, yeah, it's linear. Okay, learn how Bezier curve works. Yeah, the Bezier curve is the one I was telling you about, the ease in, ease out and everything. So let's just, for the element with the id of ball 1 here, change the value of the animation timing function from linear to its equivalent cubic Bezier function value. Use the point values given in the example above. So we just have to change the, so, and we can use cubic Bezier and then we can change the value. Let's just quickly see what changes occurs if we change the values, because the theory is a lot. So just cubic Bezier and see if it works. Putting it together, here's a Bezier curve and CSS in the question above. Whatever is equivalent for each point, which is, if you remember from geometry class, whatever anchor points. Okay, let's just stop here.